Hey guys, and today Shorty and I are going to do our tips for round 17 of the season. Bloody hell, mate, I can't believe it. Already round 17. Not too far off the finals.
Yeah, no, not too far off, mate. You must be excited.
For round 17 of the finals.
Yeah, well, hopefully we're playing well then.
100%. Alright, sweet, we'll get stuck into it, mate. Sydney and Hawthorn at the SCG. It was the Swans getting the Hawks done last time, and they did a number on us last week, the Swans. And the Hawks do what they do. How do you reckon this will go?
Yeah, it's probably the toughest tip of the whole week, I'd say. And we're going to go to the Swans, I think, being at home. And the fact that they're in great form and they're just probably the two best sides at the moment. I mean, Crows are going very well, but you almost say these are the two benchmarks at the moment.
Yep.
I'll tip the Swans by 9 points. I think it'll be really close. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Hawthorn get up, but I just think that the Swans have too many winners over the ground. And the Hawks, they're not the side they once were, despite how well they're going. Hopefully we see the Swans again do a number on them.
That'd be good, mate. Nicely said. I reckon the Hawks will get the job done here by 4 points. I just know what they're capable of, and they've just done so many good things over the years. They got the Swannies in the SCG a few years back. I don't think that has any placing on tonight's match. It will be. Something about them, mate. I just think that they lost to them last time, and I don't think they'll lose 2 in a row to them. They're that kind of side that really does get their mental things happening.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
But bloody hope the Swans win, mate, and wouldn't be surprised if they get the job done. So we'll move on to the next. Yeah, we'll move on to the next one anyway, matey. Fremantle and Geelong at Domain Stadium. What a big game this is. We haven't beaten the Dockers there since 2011, and the Swans did us a great number. And the Dockers were pretty poor against Melbourne.
Yeah, well, we discussed this one a bit more so in the old review, so jump along to there if you're interested in the real dissection of that. But I think Geelong will get up. They have to, and I think the Dockers just don't have enough scoring power, really. But yeah, I think I'll tip us by sort of 16, 18 points, something around there. But more dependent on how we rock up and produce than perhaps the home side.
Nice, mate. I've gone the Dockers. I'm going Fremantle by 2 points. I must love this team. Tipping them 2 weeks in a row when they've been horrible for most of the year. Mainly because it's at home for them. We haven't beaten them there for a long time. We're in pretty poor form at the moment. I've been sort of thinking about our breaks with our losses with some teams. We've had extended breaks and then playing not so swell opposition. So I think, I'm going to go the Dockers. I think they'll just defensively crunch us. We won't expect it. We may not pay the respect we should. More so a bit of an upset. Well, the bookies are thinking it's an upset. So I think the Dockers, but we have to win. So yeah, it's a dodgy tip, that one.
Hopefully we can have a win.
Definitely, mate. All right, so we got Richmond and Essendon at the MCG on Saturday. So the Tigers were pretty gutsy against the Dogs, who were a bit flat, and the Bombers, nearly took over the flat Saints. So they're both in good form in the last week.
Absolutely. Both were reasonable without getting the job done. I'm going to have to go to the Tigers, though. We've not a great deal of confidence, but they obviously, with a few youngsters and a bit of youth running through the side, played a bit better footy. I mean, didn't see the full game against the Dogs, but they obviously played all right. And the Bombers can't be discounted, but they were good last week, and they're going to be up and down, and you just can't really bank on what they're going to produce. So I'll go to the Tigers by 28 points.
Well, all right, I'll go the Tigers by 20 points. I think, as we say them a lot, the team against Essendon generally has a better list on the table. And I think, obviously, they'll probably put in a better performance, you'd think, and hopefully be wary of the Bombers, what they can do when you're about 5% off. So, yeah, look, you just have to say Richmond, just based on where both are at.
Yeah, absolutely.
No real reasoning or confidence. Moving on to North Melbourne and Port Adelaide at Etihad Stadium. So North, I think they've lost 5 of their last 6. The train's fallen off a bit, off the rails a bit. The wheels are falling off the train. That's what I'm after. Port Adelaide, they were pretty ordinary against Hawthorn, probably flattering scoreboard, turning loose by 4 goals.
Yeah, definitely. And North have been close, but yet so far, really, they just can't quite get over the line. This is really one where you'd like to see the teams. They probably are just out, but I hadn't had a look at them. I think Wells and Blake are back, and I tip North with a lot more confidence. I'll tip them anyway. Mainly because, Port, you can't take much on them. They're up and down side. They're capable of coming out and taking it right up to North, but I think if you're playing the odds, you'll have to tip with the more safer side, North Melbourne, despite the form. I'll go there by 19 points.
Sweet. All right, I'm going to tip North Melbourne as well, mate. I'll tip them by 16 points. I think they've just got the weapons to get the job done. They're a really good side at Etihad. Their form of late, they've been against some really good sides, and you never want to say injuries are an excuse, but I think they've shown the form is better than what Port Adelaide have produced lately, and at home certainly helps them out. So I reckon North will be able to sort of get the monkey off the back a little bit.
Yeah, they need to.
For sure. So the Western Bulldogs are up against the Gold Coast Suns at Kazali Stadium. I think the Dogs kicked like 11 goals against them in a game in the last quarter last year or the year before. They were absolutely gone for all money and they came back. They fell across the line against the Tigers, just got the job done, but they did what they had to do. And Gold Coast is showing some pretty good form, but Ablett and Rischitelli out really hurts them.
Oh, yeah, it kills them. Probably if those outs didn't happen, you'd think about not tipping Gold Coast, but you'd almost say this, potentially if they came to play and the Dogs were a little % off here or there, it could be close, but without Ablett, history suggests they struggle, and Rischitelli is more valuable than probably what a lot of people give him credit for.
Yep.
And, I think those two players, as much as what they lose from a playing point of view, it really takes out a fair bit of the Gold Coast Suns' soul and the heart and soul of the club and leadership aspects. So, the Dogs were, not fantastic, but when they needed to, they were good enough in that last quarter, and I think they'll be comfortable winners here. I'll tip them by 39 points.
Sweet. I've gone the Doggies by 32 points. Yeah, good. Look, if Gold Coast, everything clicks for them, it could certainly be close. I reckon they could worry them in defence with their tools, but the Bulldogs team defence really sort of negates any power forward combination. And you have to say through the midfield, contested possessions of Rischitelli and Abbott will be heavily lost and missed. And I think the Dogs are just generally well-rounded, much more consistent side, and seem to travel okay. So I'll go the Dogs.
Yeah, very good.
Moving on to Adelaide and Collingwood at Adelaide Oval, the Crows have shown they've won 7 in a row. They've been in brilliant form, and if we don't have anything to do with the flag, mate, I hope they win it. And Collingwood, and Collingwood, they've been, turned a bit of a corner last week against the Giants, just giving them a bit of an upset, which is very nice for us. And it shapes up to be a good game. Collingwood have travelled well in the past, probably not the last year or two, but besides that, they have been very good. It'll be very tough coming up against Adelaide, though, in Adelaide.
Absolutely. I think it'll be too hard for the Pies. I know what they did last week against the Giants, and, that's arguably the toughest road trip in the game at the moment, and they were extremely convincing, but by all reports, I think the Giants maybe not got ahead of themselves, but got a little distracted and started maybe thinking about how good they were instead of paying credit to the Pies, and they cashed in Collingwood, and they can't be undersold what they did. But I think the Crows are just as tough a challenge over in Adelaide, maybe tougher in the form they're in. So I can't go past the Crows. I'll tip them by about 5 goals. I think I reckon they'll do it somewhat comfortably, especially if they get up and running. It could even go north of that because the Pies, they've proven that they're inconsistent over the course of the year, and who knows, they could come out and beat them, they could get smashed.
It could go either way, couldn't it, mate? I'm gonna go the Crows by 27 points. I expect Collingwood to put up a pretty good challenge, in pretty good form. Hopefully, Clokey doesn't mind having that glove off and still can produce the goods. Yeah, look, the Crows so well balanced, as we say each week, mate. Defence is really improved. Their midfield is very well balanced. Forward line is full of guns and stars that play their role. Can't understand what Collingwood did last week. If they bring their pressure game that's been successful in the past and obviously last week, very recently, they can certainly take it up to a team like Adelaide or any team in the competition, really, and make it a close one or even get across the line. But I think Adelaide will be 4 or 5 goal winners.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Definitely.
Carlton and West Coast face off at the MCG. So the Blues' wheels have fallen off a little bit too lately. And West Coast, they were pretty good. North Melbourne challenged them at home. But they came out with the chocolates and have finally beaten the top 8 side.
Yeah, they did. I think I'd still like to see him put in a real good performance in Melbourne against the quality side, but I think they were North, albeit, equally had their doubters like the Eagles do, but they did what they had to do and they played pretty well.
Yeah.
But I still don't reckon you can, with any real confidence say what they're going to bring to Melbourne sometimes. And the Blues, they have dropped off a bit. I think if this match was 6 weeks ago, or whenever that sort of hot patch for the Blues was, you'd think about tipping them, but they've sort of lost their way a little bit and, perhaps falling into more of the form many expected. At the start of the season, they're really struggling to find an avenue to goal, and it's coming down to too few. But look, I'll tip the Eagles by 24 points, just a nice handy little buffer margin. But you just never know. You just never know with either of these sides. I know they've had close games that Eddie had under the roof in the past, and this could be one.
Yeah, no, nicely said, mate. I think the Eagles should get the job done. 17 points I'll go with. Look, you'd think they're the better side. At the MCG, sort of you put that margin down a little bit, but if it was at Domain Stadium, you'd be banking them in for a big win. Always reverses a little bit in Melbourne, but I think they may have turned a bit of a corner. I'm not a big believer in how well they'll go this year, but I think they should be right to get the job done this week. So, moving on to St Kilda and Melbourne at Etihad Stadium. I think the Saints have won the last 13 or so against Melbourne. It's a crazy record. I don't think they've won since 2006. That's how bad it is. And they got them early this year. The Saints, a bit slack last week. The D's did what they had to do against the Dockers and did a fine job. Interesting game, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Two of the sides that are on the rise and promising young lists. If it was at the G, I'd tip Melbourne, but it's at Etihad, so I think the Saints are a much better side there, and the D's are generally a much worse side there, for whatever it is.
It's a pretty simplistic.
It's just a bloody oval with grass and a roof on it, but it makes a difference. So I'll tip the Saints by, I feel like I've tipped just about every game in this sort of 3 to 5 goal margin, but sort of 17 points. I think Melbourne are a better side, more accomplished team, so I think they won't, be really smacked around. But we know the Saints can really play some good footy, more than most, under the roof.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I'm going to tip the Saints by 8 points. It's weird because you think Melbourne's actually the better side than St Kilda, but for some reason, the Saints seem to get them for whatever reason. I think the forward, I think the forward line will give them a bit of trouble. You got Josh Bruce, and Membry's been kicking goals and kicking bags. He's averaging 2.8 goals a game, so he's doing really well. They just seem to play much better at Etihad, and Melbourne don't seem to play well there, as you said, mate. So it's about as simple as that. So I'll go the Saints by 8 points. Final game, matey. We've got Brisbane and GWS at the Gabba. How good have the Lions been lately? The Giants, a little bit of a scare. Well, not even a scare. They got beaten last week by the Pies. And what was a crucial loss for them. Good win for the Pies. And the Lions, they have not been showing much. They showed a little bit in the second half. They trimmed the margin back a bit against Gold Coast.
Yeah, they did. But Brisbane, they're probably in the dullest position of any club, just about, unfortunately. And most games they play, there's just no interest around it. And this is another one, really. They were disappointing in the Q Clash, which is one that they would have really got themselves up for, and they didn't. And you did the Giants no matter what, but you'd almost think after last week's performance they really would have got a kick of the butt that last three quarters and just really rein back and look, you guys aren't as good as maybe you think you are, and sometimes they can produce a performance that's really ruthless. So I think no matter what, the Giants will get a win. And look, I'll tip them by 49 points, but you just never know. It could be even more.
Nice, mate. I'm going to go with the Giants by 46 points. Yeah, I think they'll respond heavily after last week. And funny you're saying about not thinking they're as good as they thought they were. Just always overestimating, underestimating lists. So, yeah, look, the Lions are just in a struggle street at the moment. No real signs that are coming out to me saying that they're changing or much is happening in regards to their performance and, yeah, just their attitude towards it. Good second half against the Suns, but that's the Suns, I suppose. The Giants will be hungry as ever to get a win on the board.
Absolutely, mate.
All right, so that sums up the tips for round 17 of the season. Not too far off the finals now, mate. About 6 weeks to go, so it's going to be exciting. It's going to be scary, and there's going to be plenty of games in the top 8 that shape how the 8 will go. Hopefully a few upsets here and there with a few teams just being a little bit off. But, it's been an enjoyable season. Probably one of the best seasons we've ever had.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been, really exciting. Plenty of scoring and some good games still to come. The 8 could finish in any formation, just about.
100%, and can't wait to watch. There's plenty of games I've got on my radar, mate, that from this year that I haven't quite got around to watching. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, that's the way, mate. It's always good stuff.
Perfect. All right, so those are our tips, guys. Feel free to comment your tips. Don't forget to give the video a like, share it around as well. It'd be fantastic. Don't forget to subscribe for more of these tips and also our Geelong reviews, which you do each week. So feel free to check those out. That'd be fantastic. Thanks for hanging around, guys. We'll catch you all next time.